Alright, The Walking Dead, issue 143, A Union. Here's the cover. See, by Robert Kirkman and Charlie Adlard. So, I just read this issue and I'm going to try and make this quick because I want to do something else. I want to play Batman tonight. So, it might not be the best review, but I'm going to do my best. So, there's going to be spoilers in this review as always. I don't actually say that before in my reviews, but I should mention that. So we start off with Alpha talking to Earl, the blacksmith, and then Ezekiel comes by, and then he interrupts the conversation. And then this other guy, Pete, who was the fisherman on the boat, he talks to Ezekiel, and he's like, "Why don't you try and get back to the show?" And he gives him some confidence. They hug, and then he's just like, "Okay, let's go. I'm gonna try and make that work." Then we cut over to Rick and company with it's Rick, Michonne, Andrea, and Dante. And remember several issues ago when Dante was captured or by the Whisperers, he mentioned that there was like thousands. He thought he heard thousands of them. That might not have been true. I didn't think that was true, but things happened, and it turns out that maybe. I'll get to that in a sec. So the story progressed very quickly in this issue, a lot faster than I thought it would. Last issue we had Rick, and he said, "I'm going out to find my son," and so they went out, and they're on their way to find him. And Dante mentions like these people are dangerous, and they're like they terrify me. They're dangerous, and they act unnatural. And Andrea's like, "Don't worry." Like, okay, now you're starting to scare me. But then she says, "But that doesn't matter because our son's a badass." And then we cut over to this next page, which is really cool. And you can see one of the Whisperers comes over and like, I don't know how they were able to figure out that Rick was already on the way. One sec. I don't know how they were able to find out that Rick was already on the way to find Carl. But whatever. Rick pulls out his gun and he's like, "Take me to my son or you're dead." And then this guy's like, "Dude, you have the upper hand here." And they reveal like there's like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. But maybe like 10 or like I can count like 16 people and body like parts that make up body, like maybe 16 people around Rick and company if you actually get down to the detail. But they're like, "I will take only you. I will take you and only you to see your son." And then we cut over to the hilltop with Maggie and Jesus, and they're talking like, when's the right time to tell Rick about Ezekiel? No, about Gregory and how we executed him. And she's like, "I don't know. We're probably gonna tell him when he gets back, but if he gets back and Carl's not here, it's gonna just be terrible. So I'm hoping that Carl comes back, so otherwise that would be terrible." And then Carl, we get some more stuff with Carl, and Carl, damn, Kirkman has been absolutely making his character one of the best characters in The Walking Dead. He might be like my favorite character as of now. He's so cool in the comics right now. I'm hoping to see him season 6 of The Walking Dead show. I'm hoping that he loses. Well, not really like hoping like, oh, I want him to be in pain, but like for his character to develop, he needs to lose the eye in the show, which I hope that happens so he can be the badass that he is in the comics. But he just keeps getting. He's so awesome. He's so awesome in the comics right now, and he's just like, "Where did Alpha go? If she's gonna hurt my people, I'm not gonna be happy," or whatever. And then they cut over to like, you see this thing, this right here. He says like, "I caught this guy on the road," and it's Rick. Like, wow. One issue ago, he said he was gonna go find his son, and he did in one issue. Good job. So I can tell that Kirkman's trying to get the story to move along a little bit quicker since the end of Compendium 3 is going to be in 144. So he's trying to move stuff along. I think that's the purpose of it. But Rick's just like, Rick just sees Carl and he's like, "Oh, thank God you're alright." where he says something very different, but then he's just like, where are your glasses? And he says, Carl just says, I don't need them. So Carl's just accepting that the loss of his eye is a part of who he is, and he's not going to fight it anymore, which I can kind of admire him for that. Like, if he doesn't want to hide it, that's his choice. That's his choice. I mean, like, lots of people that have lost their eye in, like, war or whatever the case may be, they'll usually just put an eye patch over, like, the governor or Kenny from The Walking Dead. Like, he had a bandage. But there's lots of characters that are really cool that some of them, well, like, Carl's the only one I can really think of that I know of in media that just doesn't bother to cover it up anymore. Because, like, he had it with the glasses, and it looks kind of funny, to be honest. But if he doesn't wear it, when he doesn't wear the thing, and you see him, like, let me grab it, issue 137's cover. He's just so badass. And I actually can't wait to get issue 144 because we'll have a Rick cover and then we'll have a Carl cover. So that'll be really cool to have like a collection for those two. But anyways, back to the point. We cut over to stuff with Rosita and Eugene, and it's like, oh, the baby and blah blah blah. I don't really care about it, so I'm not really gonna dive too much into it. But we cut over back to Rick and Carl and the dialogue. The dialogue is great. I don't know why, but it's just like, Rick's just like, they haven't hurt you, and Carl's like, they're weird, but they haven't done anything to me, and then Rick's just like, Carl, you have to kind of sneak out of here if you can manage it. But Carl's just like, no, they've hurt this girl I like, or love, because they had sex. Lydia, Carl doesn't want to leave Lydia, and it's kind of like, okay, why is it that that Carl is so attracted to her? What is it like? Because we know they had sex, and we know that they kind of like each other, but it's not really like established. Okay, why is it that they're getting along? And we kind of get that in this issue. And Rick says, these people are dangerous. I can't leave you here. And Carl just says, I didn't ask you to come here. I have to do this. I'm not leaving her. And then Rick just says, Carl, I'm your father, and if I can, I'm getting you out of here. Next page, it goes down. Carl is like, this world is my father, and I've got its looks. Like, that's exactly sort of what people thought of when Carl lost his eye, because he shows the zombie apocalypse on his face, like what it's done to him. Like, you can see the emotion. Like, Charlie Adler does a great job of drawing emotion with characters, and he's just like, this world is my father, and I've got its looks. And Rick's just like, what are you trying to say? And Carl says, I've seen how you look at me right now. You're uncomfortable with it. You want me to hide it. The way I really look. And Rick just says, Carl, please, this is not the time. And Carl just says, I don't care if they hear me. I don't care what they think. I know what she thinks. And he points to Lydia. And this is the explanation that sunk into my brain. He just says, she's the only one, not you, not mom, not anyone else who looks at me. Who actually looks at me like I'm normal. She's not scared or uncomfortable or ashamed. Rick says, I'm not ashamed of you. You tried to protect me from all this, and for the most part, you did a good job. Better than pretty much anyone else could have. You're Rick Grimes. But this happened. I got hurt. I didn't make it through unscathed. I have to carry this through the rest of my life. And I know how I look, and I know it's not easy to look at. It's not normal to look at me without flinching. But somehow, she does it. She's someone special. She's special to me. I care about her. So I'm not leaving her. I finally found someone who can truly accept me for who I am, instead of who I was, or who my father is. So I'm going to hold on to that. That was amazing dialogue. That was amazing dialogue. Good job, Robert Kirkman. Real good job. Because it just really gets into Carl's mind as to why he likes Lydia, and it's because she's accepting of him. She doesn't care about his scars or the fact that he doesn't have an eye. She doesn't let that bother him. Like, Carl would normally just cover it up because he doesn't want anybody to feel that way, and he would like always hide it for the longest time. But once Lydia finally said, "Just take that thing off," and he wasn't ashamed, or she wasn't scared, or felt uncomfortable, and Carl was just there without it, Carl was like, "Someone actually accepts me. Like, I don't need to hide it. I can just let it be there and not have to feel worried about what other people think." And that's why he likes Lydia, or loves her maybe, but also because he doesn't want her to be with the Whisperers. I think some of them rape her. Um, but it's real cool. Like, I like that dynamic. It's real cool. Like, you really understand, like, okay, Carl's not a kid anymore. He's never really been a kid, because this whole zombie apocalypse changed his whole life. He's 13, and he has spent, like, 7 years in this whole hellhole. But Rick just is like, alright, I understand. I'm sorry. Then, more shit goes down. We have, not Magnus, she's Alpha, who she comes, and Rick's just like, if you're the one in charge here, I don't appreciate being held captive. I'd like to take my son and leave now. And then Alpha's trying to establish some dominance here, or some like, hey, I'm the motherfucker who's in charge. Sorry for cursing, but whatever. And then she's like, is this distracting you? What did you do? And she has a machete that is covered in blood, and she says, we ran into some trouble on the road. It was unavoidable. Don't know if anybody in Rick's group is dead or killed, or same thing, injured or whatever. Rick's just like, what did you do? If you hurt Andrea and Michonne, are there any of my people? And then, like, one of the Whisperers just hits Rick in the face, and he's like, I will remember this. And that kind of reminded me of, like, Telltale games, how, you know, when you do something in the games, like, it's like, Lee will remember this, or Kenny will remember that, or Clementine will remember that. Like, Rick just said it out loud, like, I will remember this. That's pretty cool, because Rick's not one to let up on, like, debts or whatever. Like, the Lannisters always pay their debts or whatever, Game of Thrones, but, like, Rick doesn't let anything up. Almost anything. Like, he did leave up Negan, but the thing is it's like, I understand why he did that, and I explained it in a previous video. But she's just like, walk with me, Rick. And Rick just says, I'm not leaving my son again. Would you rather he die than leave your side? And Rick's just like, you messed with the wrong person today. You went from the wrong way. And then some real cool stuff happens. 144 is going to end bloody, probably. It's probably going to end one of the bloodiest ones. Probably not as bloody as issue 48 of The Walking Dead, but it's shaping up to be something very big. Like, the shit's going to hit the fan, and people are going to die. Alpha walks Rick over to this gas station and then up to the top of this warehouse, and they keep walking, and Rick's like, what are we doing? Keep your voice down. And then this just happened. And then she says to him, go on to the edge. Look. And then she says something. She has some really cool dialogue. Kirkman is just amazing with the writing, but I'm going to say it exactly. I want you to see that when I tell you that I will destroy everything you've built in this world, everyone you love, everyone you know. So there's that. You can see Rick's face. He's just like, oh crap. And she's like, everyone you know, I want you to know that is not an empty threat. And you see all these Whisperers. And Dante was right. Dante was right when he said there were thousands, when he said, I think I heard thousands. And you can just see that, like, how? How do they get that many? Like, they're screwed. The survivors are screwed. It was just like, oh, shit. This is not good. This is not good. Oh boy. Because Dante mentioned that way back, or like when he was captured, even issue 132, and he was missing for several issues, and he came back, and he's like, I think I heard thousands back in issue 138. I think he said that, but I'm like, oh shit, this ain't good. This ain't good. This ain't good. So, oh my God. I have to say this though, Charlie Adlard, great job, great fucking job at this awesome picture, awesome drawing that just kept me in awe for like 5 straight minutes. I was just like, it's just real good. It's just real good art, and he does a great job at that. And then I'm gonna give you a look at issue 144's. There's Rick on sale July 2015. So that's gonna be in 4 weeks, 28 days. I'm pretty sure, because like the comics that are coming out, like some of there's the bi-weekly releases, and then there's like the monthly releases that come out 4 months apart. So there's that, and I can't wait to get that issue because I want, like I said, I want to have like I'll have both of these two right back to back, and that'll be really cool. And I'm thinking that this is just Rick at the end of like this issue right here, because you can see that he had this shock face, like, oh crap. Like, I think that might be sort of like the few pages of issue 144, because Rick's just like, I could lose everything, like everything I built, everything I've set up, everyone that I loved, all of it could fall at the blink of an eye. And that's just what his face expresses to me right here. And it's going to be the end of Compendium 3, so it's going to feel, it might be like a season finale to a degree. Issue 48, The Walking Dead, certainly was like a finale. Issue 96, it was to a point, not perfectly a finale, but it was a finale, I'd say. But I felt like, okay, this, like, when it was announced that this was going to be the last one of Compendium 3, I remember thinking to myself, huh, this seems kind of rushed a little bit. But at the pacing it's going now, like Rick said in the last issue, I'm going to find Carl. He finds Carl in this issue. That makes the story go along pretty quickly. And then we have this big threat, and that's going to come to fruition in issue 144. So it's real cool. I really like it. I really like the direction that Robert Kirkman is taking this story. He's always been on top of his game, and like he just constantly one-ups himself, and it's so cool. Walking Dead is my favorite comic book series of all time. For a rating, this one, I'm gonna give it a 9. Yeah, a 9 out of 10, I'd say. There was some really cool dynamic, like dialogue between Carl was really cool. Yeah, dialogue between between Rick and Carl was really cool, and with Rick and Alpha, that was really good. I love it. It's really good stuff. Can't wait for issue 144. It'll be the last one of Compendium 3, so major things are probably going to happen. Someone's going to die. Like, we'll have to find out who it was that's blood was on that blade. It might have just been a zombie, but she might have just wanted to kind of scare Rick, not actually do anything to his group, but whatever. She seemed pretty cool, or like, she moved also from the fair to the hilltop, no, to the Alexandria Safe Zone. She moved back and forth real quick, because she went, in issue 142, she said, okay, I'm gonna go. She went, and she's back in 143 already, like, woo! The story's is moving pretty quick now when you think about it. So, that's my review for The Walking Dead, issue 143, A Union. Let me know what you guys think about this issue in the comments below. Give it a like, subscribe. That's the Kid of 115 for you. Can't wait for issue 144. It'll come out in 4 weeks. And that's it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Give a like, subscribe, like I said. Alright, catch you guys later. Bye.